Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me on the very first of many Untap gameplays showcased on my brand new YouTube channel, JD Gaming. I'm your host, Jake, and I hope you enjoy my ASMR. Today, we have Yellow Skillless Gohan versus Red Bulma. Personally, this is a matchup that I haven't really tested up quite a bit, so I'm actually quite excited to see how things work out against these decks. I know Bulma has been topping recently quite consistently, so it's going to be one of those red decks that are going to be pretty standard towards the meta, and your deck's going to have to match up against that deck quite frequently. Um, the reason why I decided to test this deck in particular is because I always liked how this deck can maintain a fat hand size while also committing to the board every turn. So I think that's pretty incredible. To have the opportunity to draw two every turn on my awakened side is extremely good in this meta, with aggro taking the format by storm. So these are the early turns. Nothing really happens turn one. Turn two is where I'm going to lean in towards the Khalifa Awakening play, which is probably one of the most strongest plays in the deck. So turn one, I'm going. Turn two, for one energy, I'm going to play the Unison, and then I'm going to swing with the Unison, and then I'm going to neg one its markers to fetch out two skillless from the deck or drop area, place them into play for free, and that's honestly probably one of the most strongest plays to ever happen in this game. One of the strongest lines of play. For one energy, get three attacks. That's pretty insane. And it also all plays out well with that extra energy in play, because then I can use either my leader to be aggressive with my leader, or to attack with the higher dragon to combo with Khalifa, so she can enter play and be more aggressive and add more tempo to the matchup. Yeah, just being able to draw one and take one life is pretty insane. And there you go, I combo. Khalifa is probably one of the most underrated cards in the entire deck. I've seen some lists without it, some lists with it. It's all about personal preference, realistically. But the ability to just do this on turn two and just go off is insane. Now I'm going to evolve, tap the remaining red energy that Roland has, and I'm going to swing against the leader. Of course, he's probably going to block it. Yep. One of the most powerful traits about Bulma is that she could turn any Saiyan into a blocker. So anything that gives you even remote value can give you extra value towards the board state. I got lucky there with the tap of red green energy. I'm sure he had a little Jiren Unison line of play or something like along those lines, and I probably would have been screwed because I tapped out on turn two. So this deck does have some weaknesses. I guess other decks that could pretty much out tempo it and be more aggressive, or be more quicker, be more impactful with their plays. So that's probably one of the things that I can say that's a weakness to this deck. But to be able to smack them back with just a bunch of skillets is pretty funny. So on turn three, I'm going to play the Unison, 3-drop Unison, and this Unison does a huge amount of work in this matchup. I honestly didn't even realize it. He's going to negate all of Bulma's skills, so essentially all the cards they have in play are going to be non-blockers like they were before. There's a little bit of a misplay here. Khalifa does not have double strike because of the Unison negating its skills. And there he goes playing Gogeta. But then I'm going to have to consistently remind him throughout the matchup that the Goku Unison does negate its skills upon play. So he loses the autos, and he's going to lose as well as the blocker. So it's really, really, really prime in this matchup. He plays anything, and he thinks he's going to get the blocker on the backside, and I'm just going to smack him with a bunch of skillless. And his Unison is very, very strong. He sneaks up on you, really. And what he does is that he gets all those skillesses back onto the board from the drop area and essentially gives them a 5k power boost, making each of them 15ks. So imagine having to deal with 15ks for 3 energy, on top of a 15k Unison, on top of a leader, on top of a 20k. So that's 6 attacks in one turn. So as long as you don't have don't have topo or anything along those lines that'll help you against widespread attacks like this, really gonna hurt your hand size that you've been gaining all game from me attacking you. Let's see what line of play he has. Vidal, probably one of the strongest cards in Bulma themselves. There he goes, trying to block once again. I feel it's pretty nutty that he's able to blocker. He's able to block any skill, any auto, anything like that enters play that has 5 or less. I feel like that's pretty insane. Have that permanent sort of speed and be able to negate pending autos or anything that enters play that costs 5 or less is pretty insane. This is what essentially won me the matchup. Look at the value right there. Be able to combo off. All right, so now we're gonna swing with. We're gonna add the 5K boost on both of the skill lists that entered play because of the 3-drop unison, and we're gonna swing with the leaf flip. Now since he lost all those blockers, it's going to be really tough for him to kind of come back from this. All these 4Ks and 1Ks and 10Ks he can't really do much with are just stuck sitting there for extra combo fodder. And since his leader's at 10K, it makes him at a statistical disadvantage. If I just combo one more 5K, he'll have to combo a whole entire 10K to get out of the combo step. All right, so he combos with the Nappa once again. Really solid line of play. I usually do that when I used to play with the Broly Search deck. I would combo with the Nappa, then combo with it again. Like that's essentially having like 6 super combos in one game. It's pretty insane. All right, so here I am explaining to him that. Well, he's explained to me that this is his first time facing a deck like mine. I feel like this deck definitely should be out a lot more. I like this deck a lot. Definitely remember seeing this deck played once at my local at Most Excellence. Shout out to Most Excellence up in Enfield, Connecticut. There I am, attacking with the Unison now. He negates again with a Vidal, and if I didn't have that Unison played, that would have been a blocker. Just so much value. A 1-drop negate, that's a blocker. Can't beat it, honestly. And it's pretty solid as well. As you can see in my hand, I'm also playing the 7-drop Sin Shenron SCR. In this deck, it's pretty good. All my skillets are at the 1 energy cost threshold, and I also play extra cards like Flying Nimbus and Time Magic to add to that stipulation of reducing his energy cost by 1 for each 1 drop in my field. So I usually pay just 1 for him, and he's at 35k deflect, and he can't be removed by opponent's skills. So he's definitely going to sit there, and he can block multiple times. And if anything, I can bait with a swing with him and swing for game. And he's a 35k beat stick. He's just so versatile in this deck. And I definitely used him before on many occasions, playing against blue, playing against aggro, where I'm just blocking multiple times, and he saved me an entire turn from my opponent going in on me once. Just infinite blocks. It's insane that he can't really deal with. So he attacks my unison, brings it down to 2. I have to constantly remind him about the skills negation. It's understandable. I'm just trying to be a nice person about it, just explaining to him nicely, like, hey, this is it. This is what the deck's gonna be. This is what the unison is gonna do. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, so now he draws 2 off of the awakened side. Off the awakened side, I feel Bulma is definitely a ticking time bomb. Letting your opponent sit there and having them draw 2 every turn is not good. So, being able to defeat them while they're on their awakened side as quickly as possible is definitely the key goal there. He pays 3 now to play the Jiren Unison. He baited the swing with the Unison. Now he's probably going to kill it. So he can gain all those blockers back since he's at 2 life. There he goes, plus 28, giving it double strike for the turn. If he swings at me, I'll be down to 3 life. I wouldn't be mad at that, but I'd definitely be in range for some Super Saiyan 3 man on a mission Goku nonsense and you definitely don't want to be caught in that spot where you were ahead of the game and then you just cut like one extra life where you shouldn't have, and then you just lose. It happens quite frequently in this game because tempo is everything. All right, since he KO'd my Unison, all of his cards now have blocker once again. All right, so we're gonna play the Higher Dragon Best Buddies. I don't really play him that much. He's good when I can't, but I don't have the Unison to fetch for more skillets, so I can just loop him from the drop area on my Awakened side. So since he said no gates, I definitely go all in here. Definitely want to make sure that he has no shenanigans. I definitely don't want to wait till another turn because the longer Jiren's out in play, the more dangerous he becomes. So like when Jiren's out in play, it's really tough to take out any skillless cards because he'll just nick 10 it off his auto and then you go right back to the drop area. So it's pretty tough when he's out on the board. So I definitely wanted to end game here. And I was fortunate enough that the Khalifa was still in play and that wasn't removed. So I comboed up to a 55k double strike, and I believe that's game. We'll see. There's the Nappa. We were at 20k. He combos with another 10k, I believe. Let's see. Food Shrouded Mystery. Wow. Then he combos with another 5k. So we're at 20, 35, 45, 50. 5. It's not looking so good. It's not looking so good. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, one short. We sneaked it. We sneaked game one, boys. Now we're on to game two. Turn 4, going for the kill turn. That's generally what you want. You can afford to go later turns because you have Flying Nimbus and things of that nature for other aggro decks, which makes this deck so unique. An aggro deck that's catered to defending itself against other aggro decks. Alright, so it looks like I pulled the Vegeta Unison once again, and I also have the 6-drop EX Evolve that I just absolutely love in this deck. He came out of the new draft box, and essentially what he does, he can EX Evolve for 1 yellow on top of a skillless that costs 2 or less, and essentially he's a 20k double strike that has unique. So on turn 2, if I don't have that Khalifa play where I can combo, I can also just pay 1 and EX Evolve it onto a higher dragon. So it just gives you options on that turn 2 threshold, so you're just flexible with your cards. And that's what I like in a deck, flexibility. Just not having a linear play, because once you have a linear play, a linear line of play, your opponents are going to cater to that very well. And then they're going to try to counterplay the hell out of you or something along those lines to distract your line of play. Alright, so 10k to the leader, Bulma. He does take it. Now I'm gonna get the Unison out there now. And I'm gonna swing Unison to leader. No combos. You don't really have combos. Usually your opponent's decision to combo to save themselves. Either they take it or they don't. Either way, that's good for you. There he is with a little bit of a misplay. I definitely think he should have waited for me to neg 1 the Unison in order to play the Gogeta, because he could have saved himself with the Khalifa and then KO the Higher Dragon or vice versa, or how have you, and then be up on cards that way. But since he was a little impatient, he didn't get the correct play out. So now since I have the Higher Dragon and Khalifa play, I can go into both next turn. I can EX Evolve the 6-drop onto the Higher Dragon, swing with the Higher Dragon, 20k double strike, and then combo with the Khalifa, making a 30k double strike, and then tap down whatever block he has or whatever energy open that he has left, and swing it that way as well. So definitely going to be a big turn next turn. I'm just hoping that he doesn't have any other double strikers in play, because taking me down to 3 would hurt a lot. He pays 2 for the Lore Slug Giant Force Unison. Definitely a big fan coming out of the new set. Activate main. He can discard a card to next 10 one of my battle cards in Northern Barrier, which he does. He chooses a Khalifa. Very wise. Very wise on that front. Unfortunately, he didn't realize that if he were to attack me once and then with a double strike, he'll bring me down to Awakened side. And I don't think he even knew what my Awakened side really did. So on my Awakened side, once per turn, I can draw a card and then fetch a skillless card from my drop area and place it into play. So It brings a lot of recursion into the deck. Um, and it also helps when they just neg it or when they KO it. I could just bring it back and have that line of play always be viable the later turns as well. So that's why I chose the Khalifa set. Khalifa is just incredible. She's probably one of the MVPs of this deck for sure. All right, so he swings with his 20k double strike, sending me down to 4 life, which is kind of what I was hoping would happen. Because then now on turn 2, I'll awaken, drawing 2 cards, combo, draw another card, draw 1 card, fetch a skill list from my drop and place into play for free. So like I'm gonna be plussing a lot next turn. And since he's only got 3 cards in his life, I'm just gonna target his battle cards and make sure that he can't get any value off of that. So I'm gonna draw 1 card, fetch the Khalifa from the drop area. Really solid line of play. And I was gonna also bait the Yamcha if he potentially has Yamcha, but luckily for me, he did not have the Yamcha. So I definitely took that as going all in. I'm gonna swing at the Unison, make sure I don't have to deal with another 15k crit attack for the next turn. All right, so now I'm gonna combo with a higher dragon, definitely the draw card. All right, EX Evolve the Sun Gohan onto the higher dragon. Then I'm gonna swing at the Unison. He does have the potential to block. He might, because the Nappa is able to block. There he goes, blocking it with Nappa. I'm going to combo with the Counter Blast Sun Gohan, and I'm going to KO the Gogeta. The Counter Blast Sun Gohan is definitely one of my favorite cards out of the set 10. I think that's definitely one of the most underrated yellow cards, yellow super combos in the entire game. It's a super combo that's able to remove battle cards at instant speed. If you're a Master players, you would know what that means. Essentially, if they have 5 or more cards in rest mode, you can KO 5 or less if it's in rest mode. So a good play, a line of play that I like to do with it is I'll attack a battle card, combo with Counter Blast, and then KO another battle card that's in rest mode. So essentially, taking out 2 battle cards with just 1 card is definitely one of those things Yellow needs. Yellow is definitely inefficient at removing cards and just getting rid of problematic cards. So Counter Blast on Gohan is always something. Is always a super combo that I try to play in any deck that I play, and if it's yellow. So I got rid of his entire board state. He's definitely in a bad spot right now. He's at 7 life, and he only has 3 cards in hand. He's going to draw another one off of his leader effect, but he's not in a good spot. All right, so we're gonna play the Higher Dragon Best Buddies, and I'm gonna swing 20k double strike at the Bulma. Here, what I'm fearing is Topo. He's definitely bluffing with the 2 energy. Like I'm not sure what he has. He might have Topo, but that's better for me because he'll be down to 2 cards, right? 25k double strike. Now he has to combo to 30k in order to save himself with his double strike damage. And since he has no board state, it's so good because now he has to rely on sheer combo power in order for him to get out of these attacks. And Bulma really can't do that. Since she's 5k behind, she's at an instant disadvantage. She's got to combo a whole whopping 10k in order to defend herself from general battles that are 15ks and above. All right, so I'm gonna attack with the leader combo, draw a card, and I'm also gonna play the Khalifa combo once again to combo onto the Khalifa for yet another 20k double strike attack. All right, so she enters play. I'm going to tap down one of the energy. Just checking to see if I have any sparking count, see if time magic is live, if I can tap out this turn. All right, so now he's activating Awaken. Let's see what sort of line of plays that he's going to have. All right, here we go with another Nappa. Seems he has an infinite Nappas throughout this matchup. Nappa's just a card you expect to see during the combo step. And here I make a misplay. I do pass the turn when I definitely shouldn't have. I definitely should have swung with the last Khalifa. I just thought originally that I attacked with all of them. But then after I passed the turn, I looked back and I saw that I had one attacker left. And that was definitely a misplay on my part. Let's see if it bites me in the ass. Drawing two on her awakened side is just absolutely problematic if you're the opponent. You need to get rid of her and KO her immediately. Because if you don't, they're going to be drawing a surplus of 10 plus cards, and then you're going to have 10 plus cards in their hand to deal with any shenanigans that you may deal with. Against Skillless, Red can deal with you right away. Any sort of neg when it comes to After Image Technique, Yamcha, the Merciless Barrage, things like that, where you can neg 15 multiple cards, like Chin Chanron Unison, things like that, are very problematic for this deck. Alright. He's anticipating the Unison. Unlucky for him, I don't think I have it in my hand. Nope, didn't draw it. Unlucky for me, I didn't draw it. So that would definitely have been an easy victory if I had it. So I'm going to attack with the 20k double. We'll see what play he has. He pays one. Oh, he plays that. Is that all you got? Oh, boy. Neg 15 to both Khalifa and the other Khalifa, making it a little bit more tougher for me to deal lethal damage this turn. I guess on the plus side, he did have to discard a card for that effect, so maybe that'll hinder him in the end. I'm going to pressure my leader and see if I can do any damage, see if I can draw any cards this turn. My hand's not looking so problematic. I do have a Skillless Khalifa, I have a Double Strike Champa, which he will have to be in range for. I just don't like doing Double Strike Champas all willy-nilly, I'm trying to make sure it's the kill turn. Everyone knows. Alright. Let's swing leader to leader. Let's combo with a Higher Dragon Skillless to draw a card. So now we're looking at 20k. And I just bring it back with the activate main off of the leader effect. Alright, so we're looking at 10k. I decided to swing anyways because I thought in my head if I wait another turn, he can come out with a Jiren Unison and really set me back and